All right. I just hit the record button. Let's do this. All right. I see your screen, Crystal. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are here for our session called Open edX Made Easy with Tahoe, where we are here to provide a live demonstration of Tahoe and talk more about our platform. Next slide, please. Wonderful. So before we get started, as you probably noted, there's a few housekeeping items. First of all, as you probably noted, the audio is currently muted, but we really do want to hear from you and make this as interactive as possible. We love questions, so please use the Q&A widget at any point to ask either myself or Crystal questions. Also, we'll be sprinkling in, actually we've got one poll lined up here, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And then lastly, the question that we often receive is, is this being recorded? Can I share this recording? When will I receive it? And the answer is yes. Currently, we are recording the session and it will be shared immediately following the webinar. Next slide, please. Wonderful. So just a real quick bit about Appsembler. Appsembler, we are a software company. We are fully distributed and we provide an experiential learning platform that lets you easily deliver immersive training or learning experiences to your customers, your employees, your users, your learners, anywhere. And as you can see, these were trusted by trainers and educators worldwide. Here are some of the organizations that we are very proud to work with today to deliver some of their online learning. As you can see, we partnered with large enterprises, as large as Microsoft, to universities. We worked with a lot of higher ed education institutions, to some other brands that you probably are very familiar with. So we work with all different types of use cases to deliver their online learning and online training. All right, so just real quick, let's do a quick round of introductions. Crystal, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Caesar. My name's Crystal Lockwood. I'm an account executive at Appsembler. I'm located down in Atlanta, Georgia. So go dogs. And speaking of dogs, quick disclaimer. I do have a couple of dogs roaming around with me in the office today. So if you hear any barking, I certainly do apologize.
Thank you, Crystal. As my name is Caesar Rufa, I'm the VP of Marketing here at Appsembler. I am based in Seattle, Washington. Go dogs. I love dogs. No dogs currently roaming around here in the office, but that's totally fine. And again, we're so happy to be here. And like I mentioned earlier, for some of you who might have missed it at the very beginning, there's a Q&A widget. And there's a questions widget, so feel free to submit your questions there. All right, so this is our agenda today. It's very simple. As you can see, we'll first briefly talk about just why. We always like to start with why here at Appsembler. We'll give a very brief overview of the underlying technology for our Tahoe platform, which is Open edX. And then Crystal will do the fun part and give us, show us what Tahoe looks like and with a live demo. And then we'll open it up for questions. So the first poll, and I'm going to hit the poll button right now, is how familiar are you with Open edX? We'll take a few seconds there. You should all probably see the poll right now. Looks like we're almost all in. Wonderful. So I'm going to hit end poll, and looks like I can actually share this right here. So this is the results. Looks like it's like 2/3 of us here are very familiar with Open edX. You use it extensively today, that's great. And 1/3 of us in the room are moderately familiar. You just started using it. So it's this really, really helpful context. Thank you. So why are we here? That's a question that we often want to answer. And the answer here is you want to deliver effective and engaging online learning that your learners will love. And often, as you know, there are a lot of options out there for online learning and online training. Some require substantially more investment and effort than others. And you want to be able to deliver online learning with the OpenEdX platform. So we're here today to show you how you can achieve your online learning goals by delivering with our Tahoe platform. And we'll show you what it looks like from both the instructor and course author experience to the learner perspective. So I know that most folks here are extensively familiar with OpenEdX, so I'll just breeze through the basics. But as everybody knows, as most of us know here, OpenEdX is an online learning platform founded by edX, MIT, and Harvard in 2012. It currently reaches 40 million learners, and it was open source in 2013. And these are some of the organizations today that are using and contribute to OpenEdX. So obviously some very large, well-known brands that contribute to the OpenEdX platform. And why OpenEdX? First of all, why did we choose OpenEdX to power, as the underlying technology to power our online learning platform called Tahoe? It's learner-centric. It's a true learning experience platform that puts the learner first with it was designed to engage students and teachers in an interactive, modular way. It's innovative because it's open source, it's constantly updating and improving, and users get the benefit from major upgrades and releases. It's scalable, so with OpenEdX you can offer, and particularly with our Tahoe platform, you can offer all types of courses from MOOC-style courses to degree programs to self-paced or instructor-led courses. And you can actually reach hundreds of thousands of learners, which is what many of our customers do. And it's flexible. So you can extend OpenEdX to work with your own systems, with our XBlocks, with LTI APIs, and you can brand OpenEdX to match your theme of your own company, your own brand. And we want to be able to show you how you can tap into all these benefits with Tahoe. So as I mentioned, Tahoe is our all-in-one platform that lets you launch a branded training site within minutes. No coding is required, which is great. It's all just do it yourself, and it puts the power back in your hands. So I'm going to stop talking, and we're going to start showing. Crystal, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Caesar. I'm going to get out of presentation mode, and we're going to jump over into the demo. I guess first things first though, guys, if anyone does have any questions as we're going along, we do want to keep this as interactive as possible. So please do take advantage of the Q&A section. Ask me questions. I don't want to be the only one talking. So everyone should be seeing my screen now, and we should see something that says demand-based and lots of blue. Caesar, is technology working? Great.
Technology is working.
So just to give you guys the lay of the land of how I like to demonstrate our Tahoe product, we like to put our learners first. That's really our mission here at Appsembler. So we're going to start with the learner experience. So we're going to start right from what it feels like to be the learner that drops into your platform homepage through the enrollment process into a course, into that course, and then we're going to consume some content within a course as well. Is to give you a really good feel of how you could potentially lay out one of your courses within our platform. Then we'll switch gears and we'll look at what it's like to be a instructor or facilitator of one of these courses. I'll take you guys through Studio, which is what powers our course building, all the way into our Appsembler Management Console, which is what you use to create your branding inside of your Tahoe platform. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, if you'll take a look at the URL, you'll see Experiential Learning Platform, Demo, Tahoe, Appsembler.com. So basically what this means, guys, is this is a platform that I built just to show you the power of our theming engine in Tahoe. So if anyone on the line is familiar with Demandbase, they are just a company that I admire. They're a marketing automation platform that's doing some really cool stuff with AI. If you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out. But I like their branding. I think they do a lot of bold things with blue and orange, strange color combination. But what you're seeing on the screen is a platform that I built using our Tahoe theming engine. I'm not a designer, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a coder. I've never built a website in my life, and I was able to create this with Tahoe. I'm actually going to show you guys Demandbase's public-facing website. This is their actual website. Take a look at the URL, www.demandbase.com. Looks pretty similar. So I just mimicked that to create our demo platform here. So as the learner, I pop in here from your website, whether you have a university section or academy, whatever the case may be, some way to get them into the platform. The great thing about this is you can have as little or as much content and information on this platform as you'd like. You can set it up to fit your needs in any way, shape, or form. I chose to mimic the demand-based theming, but a lot of our customers like to take the power into their own hands and create an entirely separate platform from their branding as well. So if we go ahead and jump into a course, I said that I like dogs, so we're going to jump into a course that's related to dogs. When I go ahead and select a course that I want to look at, in here you have a course about page. So you can, again, have as little or as much information as you'd like in here. If I was not already enrolled, so I've taken this course about 100 times, I would see an enroll button right here. Since I am enrolled, I have a view course button. But I think that's pretty straightforward. If a student hasn't been here, they go ahead and click enroll, and then you can control your enroll screen. So if you just want email and password, or you can gather whatever information you'd like from there. We're going to go ahead and pop into the course at this point. But I am going to take a second. Caesar, has there been any questions so far that I should answer?
Good question. No immediate questions yet. I think
Okay.
Folks are chatting, and nothing immediate yet. We'll let you know.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So now we are actually inside of a specific course. So if you'll notice, the branding has stayed consistent across the board. You'll notice the demand-based header. And this is the homepage of the course. This is a really great place to house any updates or resource information that the students might need for the course, as well as any important dates. So if you're going to be doing certifications or assessments of any type, the students can always revert back to the homepage to take a look at something they should be doing or something that they should be checking out. When I click on my course button here, this drops me directly into the first section of my course. So as you'll see, since Tahoe is powered by Open edX, anyone that's taken a Open edX course or anything on edX.org is probably familiar with this layout. It's nice and straightforward for the learner. You've got your course navigation along the left, as well as next buttons all throughout the content, so that regardless of where you are on the screen and absorbing the content, you can always move to the next section without having to scroll up and scroll down, things like that. So really easy to understand and navigate. Now, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the different types of content that can be housed inside of our platform. So again, for demo purposes, I've just chosen a little bit of everything to give you a really good feel of what you can use. So right here on the screen, you're looking at a video. You'll notice that it renders really nicely on the screen for us. Looks great on mobile, looks great on tablets as well. You have all of your standard YouTube functionality that students are used to, speeding up the video, slowing it down, making it full screen. Now, when we pop over into our next section here, I've just got a lot of content that I wrote in. So one of my absolute favorite things about our platform is that it comes standard with the ability to create content natively inside of the course if you needed to. So a lot of our clients have content in a variety of formats, videos, PDFs, PowerPoints, you name it. But in the event that you are just starting out, you can create content natively within our platform. We use a rich text editor, so it's the what you see is what you get bar that you guys are used to using every time you open Google Docs or write an email with Gmail. Those same edit functionalities is what you get within our platform. If you are HTML savvy, you have that option as well. I am not, so I prefer just to use the rich text editor. But as you can see, I was able to create some basic content here with that. And if I keep scrolling down, I wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like to drop in discussion sections within your course content. You can facilitate discussions anywhere within your course. It doesn't have to be just in one area. But the great thing about these is you can have, say, 150 throughout your course to have students be speaking to each other in various sections. They'll all aggregate in the main discussion section for you as well. I haven't talked to myself inside of my demo here, so, but you can imagine what this would look like as students start taking advantage of it. I also have a prompt. I have a "was that helpful" prompt. You can choose to or not to have some kind of discussion prompt. It can just be open-ended as well. Now on this screen, a lot of our clients like to take advantage of our studio that powers you to be able to have a lot of different types of content in one section. So we looked at a video, we looked at some text. Now we're looking at an example of some text. I've got a poll in here and a video all within one section. So you can get really creative about the way that you interact, mix and mingle your content within your sections.
I've got a question here,
Yeah.
Crystal. So you showed that poll earlier. Like, how did you do that? Are there like different types of exercises? Like, what are the different types of exercises and whatnot that you can add?
Absolutely. So there's lots of different types of exercises and assessments, and we'll get to those here in just a second. We're looking at content types now, then we'll do assessments, and then I'll show you guys inside of Studio just how easy it is to drop in one of those polls or assessment types. They're already pre-built for you. You just click a button. It's fantastic, but I will show you that here in just a second.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So next content type, guys, we find that a lot of our clients do use Google. I'm sure a lot of people in the room have Google Docs open on their computers right now. So what you see on the screen right now is a Google slide deck. And you see, just like that video, it's got all of your standard functionality that you're used to when using Google Slides. You can see it renders beautifully on the screen. Same thing, mobile, tablet. It's a really, really great way just to embed your Google information inside of your platform. And one of my favorite things about the Google integration is that if you have lots of Google documents or slides or sheets throughout your intranet or throughout your computer and you make changes to them on your laptop, you don't have to come back in to your e-learning platform and change it. All of those changes will be made dynamically across the board. This is another example of a discussion. So this one, I actually ask a question about something that was in the deck, just as a topic starter, if you will.
Hey, Crystal, we've got a question here from Stacy. She's asking, so are you using the iframe support or a special Google integration?
I was using the Google XBlock.
Yeah. So it's a Google integration. XBlock, for those of you who don't know, XBlock. Actually, do you want to briefly describe what an XBlock is, Crystal?
Yeah, absolutely. So XBlocks are the way that we make Open edX extensible. So there's a whole ton of them available in the world that people are building on, creating, iterating on. And they're, as Cesar mentioned before, they're essentially plugins. So you just copy and paste a simple word into your settings, and then you'll have availability to that XBlock. Tahoe is armed with most of the ones that you could possibly need that are already available on Open edX. But yeah, I use the Google integration, or the Google Docs integration XBlock for that particular Google one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stacy, let me know if that doesn't answer your question. So now, guys, we're going to get into more of the interactive part of the platform. So we looked at some different ways to present and consume content, and now we're going to look at some different ways for the students to get involved. So this is one of my all-time favorite assessments. It's called peer instruction question. Pretty straightforward. You can put videos or pictures or text in here and just ask a question. Mine's, how is this dog feeling? If anyone on the phone got this one wrong, I'd be very, very sad. But to use this assessment is really straightforward. You answer the question and then you give a couple of words or a quick explanation as to why you felt that way. And then when you go to your next step, you'll be able to see all of your peers' answers and their explanations as well. Just a really great way to understand where you are in your learning process against your peers. Now I've got a little transition section in here, guys. Again, you can build content natively within the course. I personally really like the content builder for transition slides. It's a great way to just pop in a, great, you've done this, now we're moving on to this. So on the screen, as I scroll down here, these are just some of your standard assessments. These ones are basic. They're built into OpenEdX. You can get them out of the box. We've got the blank common problem. This is one of the most commonly used because it allows you to integrate a few different types of questions into one question. So try to break that down a little bit. You can have drop downs, multiple choice, and a text all within one question. Or you can break those up. So here I've got an example of what checkboxes would render like on the screen. Drop down, multiple choice, very similar to checkboxes, but bubbles. Numerical input and text input. You can also do like longer essays and things like that, but those are just the basics. And then moving into a little bit more of the advanced ones. Drag and drop is one of my personal favorites because I see it used the most. You can use this in a variety of different ways. A lot of our software companies that are clients will use this to just simply train people on the UI of their software. Like, where is the home button? Where do you go to create a report? So I've got a very basic triangle here, and then I've got some very basic buckets, but you can use any image in the world for these drag and drops. You can create the images on your own. You can download them from the internet. You can incorporate anything you'd like to be able to allow your students to drag information onto a screen. This image map input assessment works in a really similar way. I just so happen to have an image of a map, but you can have any type of image on here as well. It just allows for a more narrow pinpointing type of assessment. And I think the last one down here that I've got is just a problem with an adaptive hint. This is more geared for our coders and engineers in the room. But those are the kind of the main ones that I see my clients using and I see my clients get most excited about. So those are definitely the ones I wanted to share with you guys today. As I mentioned before, XBlocks give us the ability to add in just about any type of problem you could dream up. So if you have anything, any type of assessment that you'd like to see, definitely email me after or ask in the chat right now. I'd be more than happy to see if it's something we can support.
Cool. Thanks for sharing those assessments. This is great, Crystal.
Yeah. So that about covers it from the learner experience. So now, Caesar, if you don't mind, I think it makes sense to switch over to Studio and into what it's like to be an instructor of one of these courses.
Take us away.
All right, cool. So now if I go over into Studio, guys, just so you're aware, Studio is the course builder. That's just the name of it inside of our platform. If I collapse all of these sections, you guys might notice this looks kind of familiar. This is the exact course that we were just on. So this is the outline. Now, when you guys first spin up your Tahoe trial or you first get started, you won't have any of these white boxes here. You'll have a blank screen. But what you will have is this wonderful blue bar that says new section. And I want to show you guys just how easy it is to create your outlines and to start dropping in your content. So instead of messing with the ones that I already have, we're just going to add a new one. You name it. And then you start building out what the outline's going to look like. Really, really straightforward stuff. Units, guys, are what is the actual context of the subsection itself. So this is my unit. Now we can start adding in our content. So content, component, they're pretty much the same thing inside of Studio. And you do that with these really great green buttons. So going back to that question that you asked before, this is how we added in that poll. This is how I put everything inside of that course. So video has its own little block. When you want to add in a video, it's going to automatically populate a beautiful video of the sky from edX. And then guys, you just hit the edit button and then drop in whatever URL you'd like to use. So since it is the YouTube functionality, you can add in closed captioning, transcripts, anything like that. There's a lot more advanced capabilities for you as well. And now let's just start building. So now if I want to add in a problem, let's just go ahead and do multiple choice just for sake of demo. This always blows my mind. Once I hit it, it's already built for me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to code anything. I don't have to engineer anything. It's all ready for me to go. All I have to do is change the words around. One of the greatest things about Studio, guys, is that it does have instructions for you every step of the way. So you'll see the text is nice and straightforward. Add the question, text or prompt here. Tells you exactly what you need to do. Then you type in your answers, a few incorrect and one correct, and then you just put your X wherever your correct answer is. So you have full customization over maybe you're somebody that likes A to always be the right answer just to throw your students off. You have the ability to totally customize that. We'll go ahead and save that. And then as you see, guys, there are lots and lots of different types of problems that come out of the box. So they've got the common problem types, then we move over into advanced. Now, the XBlocks that we were talking about, things that make OpenEdX extensible that don't come out of the box, are all in advanced. Now, for demo purposes, I've only got a few in here, but they work the exact same way. So we were talking about the poll earlier. If I go ahead and click that poll XBlock, it works the same way as the multiple choice. It gives me some prompt information. I can go ahead and click edit and change my poll. The final thing that I want to show you guys is that rich text editor. I use it a million times a day. You are able, like I said, to mess around with more advanced customization. I don't touch it, but if I just go into my text and I click edit, this is a bar that everyone should be very intimately familiar with. It works the same way as your Google Docs and Gmail does. So everyone's used to using that. And then finally, discussions. So as I mentioned before, you can drop discussions in anywhere you'd like within your course. And it is as easy as hitting the green button. And then they automatically get dropped in. And then as I was mentioning, you can categorize it to prompt them to start talking about something, or you can just simply leave it blank. So I hate to say that that's as easy as it is, but it really is. I'm actually going to go ahead and publish what we've just created and refresh my course so you guys can see it automatically live go into my course. So that was my outline that we looked at before. Now I've got my name it section that we just made. Hi, hello, and there are all of the pieces of content that we just dropped in together.
That's awesome.
So using Studio is a piece of cake. Was there any questions that came up as I was going through that, Caesar?
No questions directly tied to this. We did receive a question earlier from Elizabeth about accessibility, which I can share the answer from our team about in a bit.
Okay, no problem.
Actually, no, I can share. So Elizabeth's question was, she said, I know that accessibility is on the radar for OpenEdX. Is there anything additional that Appsembler does /offers/enables in terms of accessibility? So Elizabeth, so the response from my team here is we take accessibility very seriously here at Appsembler, and the core platform is committed to adhering to WCAG standards. We strive to uphold the same accessibility best practices when developing the platform and prioritize fixing any accessibility issues as and when they are identified. And we'll also be providing advice on best practices for accessible course development in Open edX in the near future. So definitely stay tuned, and also happy to connect you or anyone else who has questions about accessibility with our team about that to discuss further.
Perfect. All right, cool. Well, then now it sounds like a good time to go ahead and leave studio and actually show you guys how I created that demand base page that we looked at together. So I know it was a long time ago. It was like 15 whole minutes ago that we looked at that page, but now I'm going to show you guys how I built it. So this is really Tahoe's special secret sauce. We call it our Appsembler management console. This is unique to us. So whenever you take advantage of our Tahoe product and spin up an Open edX site, as you know, you'll get your Open edX site in minutes. But with our management console, it allows you to brand it in just a couple of minutes as well. So on here, it's really, really straightforward how you use it. Anybody that's used WordPress in the past, that's kind of where we got the vision for this. WordPress is a very familiar application most folks are used to using. It's really nice and clean and laid out, and our management console really mirrors that type of functionality. So consider your management console your home base. So if you notice up here, we've got two different links. One for the LMS, which is that link that we looked at together that brought me straight to my demand-based page. So you can always see your progress and how your changes are being made on screen. And you can also go directly into Studio, which is where we just were, to create your courses. So now going through the left nav, your user management is nice and easy to use. You just add in your new users that are going to be taking advantage of using the platform. But the page editor, guys, this is really where the magic happens. So you have the ability to link just about any page you could possibly need to your platform. So we actually have a whole ton built in here for you, and you can go ahead and edit them and enable them directly from this screen. Folks in Europe, privacy policies, terms of service, and things of that nature are definitely the most common ones that we see. Now, my index page is that demand-based landing page that we looked at together. So if I go ahead and click edit here, this is where I built out what I wanted that page to look like. So as you guys remember, I wanted it to look pretty similar to Demandbase's actual public-facing website. So I had a good feel for the blocks and the layouts, and I just started adding items, whether it was heading text, HTML content, images, whatever it was. I'm not going to add anything specifically, but I am going to show you how you start editing here. Just going to kind of walk you through this. This is where I changed my heading. So you have complete customization, guys, over what the font looks like, where the colors are, where the images are, how it's laid out, what sections are broken up by what. And you can really mix and match just about any type of content or information as you'd like. So this is what we looked at before with the demand base. This is kind of on the back end, and this is how I built it. Speaking of branding, the appearance settings is where you're able to change all of your colors, add in all of your logos, do any advanced manipulation that you may need. It's all done right here in our appearance settings. So again, really, really great. If you don't have access to a designer, your marketing team, or an engineer, you can do this all directly within our platform. Header and footer is the same way. You can customize these. These are the ones that then stay seamless across the board when I'm going through my courses. And then lastly, guys, single sign-on is part of our professional package. So anybody that wants to be able to allow their learners to have single sign-on, whether it's from their software or from Gmail, you name it, As long as it's SAML compliant, we can support it. And then certificates. These are becoming increasingly important. And you can set up certificates to be deployed from any course as it's completed for your learners. And so you really control all of this from our management console. As I said, it's really the home base for our entire platform. And that pretty much covers everything from the demo perspective and what I wanted to show you guys today. So just to recap, we walked through what it feels like to be the learner. We started at the landing page. We went through the enrollment process. We jumped into a course. We looked at some content. We took some assessments. Then we changed it up and we learned how to build a course within Studio, how to add in content, manipulate it. And then we learned how to use the Appsembler management console, which is Tahoe, to theme and brand our platform and make our customizations. So that about covers it. Caesar, anything else you wanted me to go over today?
Love it. So actually, first of all, no, thank you, Crystal. This has been one, very interesting, and thank you so much for sharing. Love it.
Yeah.
I've got one question here from Jason, and he asks, what if I need help during, when I'm creating a course, or in the platform? Are there what resources available to me?
Yeah, that's a great question. Jason, you're totally on your own. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So yeah, that's a great question. When you become an Appsembler customer, you have a dedicated customer success manager that oversees your success and your building of your platform and your creating of your courses every step of the way. They essentially hold your hand. So they get you started, they get you going, and then they are your right-hand man. You have direct access to them at any point in your partnership with Appsembler to be able to go to them for questions or guidance. And then all of our clients also have our chat capability. You can chat with any of our team members. They might not necessarily be your dedicated customer success manager, but you can chat with our team at any time, as well as we have a very thorough knowledge base. So most of the time, any questions that you may have can probably be answered with a keyword search in our knowledge base. Our team's done a great job of keeping that information up to date, thorough. So there's really three main resources that you'd be able to access when you become a client. Does that answer the question?
Sounds like the answer is yes. And also one thing I wanted to point out, Crystal, is you probably see need help in. So if you just click there, you can also easily access all those resources in one place as well.
Right. I think my internet or your internet may have cut out a little bit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, you see that need help button in the top right corner right beneath Studio.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
also a section where, you can access all those various resources that Crystal just described.
Yep.
Lovely. We've got a few minutes left. I think we're ending right on time. Crystal, I want to flip back to the slides.
Absolutely.
And then let's go to... So unless there are any questions, I think we're ending just on time. Thank you all so much again for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Crystal, for providing this demonstration and for keeping it super engaging. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can always spin up your own trial of Tahoe at appsembler.com/Tahoe/trial. And as I mentioned towards the beginning, I already got a couple of questions about it. Will the recording be shared? The answer is yes. Keep an eye out for your inbox. We'll share the video recording afterwards, and you are welcome to share that with your colleagues. And then just want to add a quick plug for a session that we are holding tomorrow. We're going to be providing a live demonstration of our virtual labs product, which empowers and enables you to provide hands-on training to your learners, particularly when it comes to more technical types of exercises, coding exercises. How can you provide that type of immersive learning experience that your learners expect and want? So we'll be sharing that in our demo tomorrow. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Take care.